It is International Women's Day, and it's been a year where powerful women have been seen and heard everywhere you look. The halls of Congress, the vice presidency, Taylor Swift, and Caitlin Clark. Women are blowing out those last shards of glass on the ceiling. And right now, Clark and her team are playing Penn State in the Big Ten women's basketball tournament in downtown Minneapolis, which, by the way, sold out for the first time in its 30-year history. The line to get in that game started at 9 o'clock this morning for a 5:30 tip-off. It's a moment of celebration and a moment that has a captive audience to talk about the truths for women playing in sports. You see, for years, women have been almost ignored in sports medicine research, but that's going to change, and that change starts right here. Here's Jennifer Hoff.
The Caitlin Clark effect is in full swing, selling out games wherever she goes, including Minneapolis. Women's basketball drawing unprecedented levels of attention.
There's no doubt the women's sports landscape is changing as Caitlin Clark takes center stage. But there are doctors working behind the scenes just as hard to research the science of sports, long skewed towards men.
Okay, on to the next session.
During an all-day conference, dozens of healthcare workers filled Huntington Bank Stadium for the first ever Female Athlete Summit, put on in part by Dr. Nicole Lavoie.
What I love is that the athletes are really good, they're authentic, they're capable, and they are great role models.
She's long studied how sports impacts women and girls. Now the director of the University of Minnesota's Tucker Center, known for its research when there's not a lot of it out there.
Sport as a social institution was built and it still is built by men for men and run by men. They sort of said, well, this worked for men, so we're just going to apply that model to women, and that just doesn't work.
Like ACL injury is having its moment.
The wide research gap impacts performance, and narrowing it can help sustain athletes and prevent injuries like ACL tears.
All of that takes energy. And so
that today's speaker said happen up to 8 times more often among female athletes than male ones. In fact, last year, 20 elite soccer players had that injury, and studies show more than half will drop out of the sport uncertain of their recovery.
Women are different. We have different injury patterns, different anatomy and physiology that makes the care of the female athlete different. We have a lot to learn because the same ways that we treat injuries in males may not be the same that we need to treat or prevent them in females.
Dr. Heather Bergeson is the Gopher Athletics physician and says women are often even left out of studies. Like from 2014 to 2020, only 34% of participants were women. Just 9% were peri and postmenopausal.
I think the tide's turning, and we're really now starting to see an inflection point. We just have to make sure that the messaging and the studies and the ways that we're supporting women continue.
In your preseason meeting, what resources are you giving to your athletes?
The ongoing goal? Keep women in sports and better protect them, both on and off the court.
Just keep moving and find a movement that's joyful.
On this International Women's Day.
On International Women's Day.
In Minneapolis, Jennifer Hoff, KARE 11 News.